The Trump administration announced on Tuesday, July 28th, that they will be ending the Medicare Part D subsidy program. Now, the Medicare Part D subsidy program was restructured under the Biden administration, where it would help to lower prescription costs for our seniors. Now, baby, when the seniors go and do their open enrollment this come fall, they will notice that their premiums, when it comes to their prescription costs, baby, it's going to be a little higher. Now, this Trump administration once said that, well, Trump himself said that seniors love him. Baby, do you think they're going to love you now? We know that a lot of our seniors over the age of 65, baby, they rely on some of those drugs that they have to take. And if they're too much, what do you think will happen? But baby, I just have one thing to say. You and your senior, if you have a senior in your family that is 65 and over, baby, y'all know what to vote for when when we get to those midterms. Vote blue, just as simple as that.
So yesterday, my mom gave me some news. I don't really know what to feel about it or to try not to feel guilt about it. So for the last month and a half, 2 months maybe or more, we've known that my mom has unfortunately been going blind due to diabetes and all that kind of stuff. We knew it's coming, but it sucks either way. And I wanted to bring my son to go see her before it happened, so we planned on our trip in July, which is a week and a half from now, I think now. And now, last night, she called me and told me that unfortunately she has pretty much gone mostly blind, if not all blind. She says she can't really see in front of her at all, and she really wanted to see our son, but will now unfortunately not be able to. So I can't help to feel a slight bit of guilt that I never actually got to bring my son to her, before it happened. I know that we can't control time or when it's going to happen and all that, but there's times where I went up to Tennessee 2 months or a month and a half later after he was here, and I could have used that time to go to Mississippi instead to bring him there, even though he was real young and I didn't know how he would be on a 5.5, 6 hour trip. But I obviously still feel slightly guilty about it, of course, but she's understanding and everything and knew that it was coming, but it still sucked. So now there's this thing where obviously she's been losing some of her Medicaid or whatever it's called that she's been losing, so she's getting less per month. No, not Medicaid, my bad. SSI or Social Security. So she lost that, most of it, except for $800 a month. So now their bills has been piling up, and then you got on top of that all these new medical bills because of her eyes and diabetes, and then I guess they charging her more for her diabetic medications. And I told her that I'm trying, I wish I could help. Obviously I have a 6-month-old at home, so I can't really do it. And I guess now more than ever I need this to actually work, my TikTok. If I can get any kind of money through TikTok to if I get the views and stuff like that and the followers, I can actually put some money aside for my family, my immediate family, and my parents. Obviously that would be amazing to actually complete, if that makes sense. But I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I know I'm still going in a week and a half, and I wish that she could see him physically. But if anything, is my great-grandmother died when I was 1. She was completely blind, and my parents, my mom I should say, would always tell me the stories of how she was, even though that she's blind, saying that she made sure I had my 10 fingers, 10 toes, and felt my facial feature, and made sure everything was all intact, and she could tell even though she's blind. She had good spirits till the end as well. And just any kind of advice to give my mom would be great as well. If you could give me any kind of advice to tell her, that way she doesn't lose her spirits, not because I feel like she's slowly giving up. If she gives up, unfortunately, she could pass. And I don't want that to happen, obviously. But anyways, if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it. And whatever kind of advice you can give, I appreciate that as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Let me say something simple about healthcare. Getting sick should not mean lose your whole life. A lot of people work hard every day. They pay their bills, take care of their families. But when a healthcare comes, everything can change. A doctor can cost a lot of money. Medicine costs a lot of money. Even one hospital visit can become a big problem for a family, and this is why healthcare matters. We may not agree on how the system should work. We may have different political view. That is okay, but I think we can all agree on one thing. People need help when they are sick, and all person should be able to get the medicine they need. A sick children would be able to see a doctor. A family should be able not have to choose between food and medicine, and a person who is hurt should not be afraid to ask to help because of money. I also understand the government has to spend money carefully, but saving money should not mean the forgetting about people, because none of us knows that tomorrow will bring. You can be healthy today, but tomorrow we need to help. So for me, that is not about left or right. It's about people, it's about money, and it is about making sure that when you sick, they are not left alone. What do you think? Let me your comments below. Let's continue.
Do y'all not laugh? Like, not because it's funny, but like in just complete like disbelief that we have allowed this stuff to go on here. Epstein files were enacted to release the whatever documents were out there, because Trump and them kept claiming that they were going to release the Epstein files, knowing good and well he had ties to Epstein. I guess he never really planned on it happening, or he just really brazenly thought that he wasn't in the files. Okay, so there's that. Then, so they don't release the files. Then we are just every day there's something. You know, they're stripping away stuff, they're taking away rights, they're killing people on the streets with ICE, with, you know, now our military is suffering on the ship that they should have been off of by now, or should be, no, like they keep extending the deployment on the ship, and they're saying they're getting rotten food, they have no more milk, just all this stuff. And I posted about it yesterday on Facebook, and some people were like, you know, this is, you know, nothing new, right? And I was like, well, that's really sad, right? But we're hearing about it right now. And just because you went through it back then, we don't still want it to happen now. I don't know, I've never heard of people still getting like rotten food. And I'm sure like military people have survived all kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? Like they are trained and built for this. But some people aren't, they say, because of how it messes with your mental. But neither here nor there that this is still not right, you know, and we have I call them a regime because they're not administering anything. This is not administration. We have a group of people, I don't want to call them men, they're not men, that are in control over our government. And we know that they don't care about us. So why, if they don't care about regular everyday citizens, what makes me think that they care about our military? I don't think that they care about our military. And Some of the military members think that this is like a ritual to see how long they can withstand horrible conditions. Bad, very bad, not good. I've been wondering for a long time, when will our military stand up for the American people and turn on this regime? That's what I've been wondering. But I'll let them figure that part out. I'm just so disgusted though.
I want to talk about the healthcare in America, and I want to keep this very simple. No hard word, no big space, just a real talk. Because I have been seeing many videos from people who are worried about their healthcare. Some are old, some are sick, some are disabled, some are parents, and some are people who work every day but still need help with their health bill. No videos, one videos really catch my attention. A disabled veteran was very angry because he said he could not longer get some of the care that helped him with his pain. He said that care help is back. Now he's worried about being in pain again, and honestly, that made me think. Imagine serving your country. You came home with health problem and need care, and then one day we are told that he care you need is not easy to get anymore. How would we feel? I think most people would be angry, and this is where I think we need to stop fighting about left and right. We need to talk about people, because when someone is sick, they do not care politics. They just want a doctor. They just want medicine. They just want help. That is it. And I think is this is something both sides need to understand. Healthcare is not only for one group. It is not only for people. It is not only for old people. It is not only for political side. That's at some points in life almost anyone can get sick. You can get a good job, you can have money, you can have healthy today, and tomorrow something can happen. We can get hurt, you can get sick, your child can get sick, your parents can get sick, your suddenly you need help. That is why I think we should be careful when we talk about cutting healthcare. Now I want to be fair. I do believe the government should look west. If money is being stolen, stop it. The people are cheating the system, stop it. If money is being using the wrong way, fix it. I do not think anyone should say that the government can never change anytime. I confuse is can, but there is big distance between cutting wastage and cutting help. That is where I think the real talk should be. Because if you cutting money from the health care program, you can save on paper. But what happens the people? What happens to old men who need this medicine? What happens to mother who needs care for her child? That happens to disabled person who cannot work like anyone else. That happens to the person who has a serious health problem. These are questions I want to leaders to answer, not just how much money will we save, but also who will be hurt. That question matters because a person who lacks health care does not stop being sick. The lines does not just go away, the pain does not go away, and need for medicine does not go away. The person still need help. The sometimes we people when people cannot get normal care, they wait until your problem becomes so much worse. They when they we have to go to a hospital, and that can cost every more money. So sometimes trying to save money today can create a much bigger problem tomorrow. That is why I think need to look at the full picture. Now let's talk about people who work. Some people say if you work, you should not need help, but life is not always that simple. There are people who work to still cannot pay every bill. Their parents working two jobs. Their families paying high rent. Their people paying for food, gas, and medicine. And after all that, there are many maybe very little money left. So when healthcare gets more costly, they feel it very fast. This is not about being lazy. This is about how expensive life has become. And that is another thing I think people forgot. Healthcare does not exist by itself. It is connected to everything else. Food costs more, rent costs more, gas costs more, electricity costs more. When we add a doctor bill, then medicine when trist, then maybe a hospital visit. For many families that can become too much, and when people are shared about money, they may avoid going to the doctor. They may say, I will go to the next month. When next month comes, they say, I will wait a little longer. And sometimes the small health problem becomes so much bigger one. That is why early claims matter. Now I know some people will say this is all politics, but I do not think it should be. Yes, politician makes a rules, and yes, the government controls a lots of money, but the result is about real people, and that is why I think need to stop treating every political issue like a football game. How do you do not save to care for your team all the time? If your side makes a bad choice, you can say it is bad. If your side makes a good choice, you can say is good. That is normal, that is healthy. You can support Trump and still disagree with him. You can support Democrats and still disagree with them. You can vote for someone and still say, I do not like this plan. Does not make you bad people person. It means you thinking for yourself, and think Americans need more of that. People should ask questions. People should check the facts. People should listen the people who are actually being affected, not just listening people on TV, not just listening to people on social media. Listen the people lives through it. Listen to veteran, listen to mother, listen to old person, listen to workers, listen to disabled person. Ask them what is happening in their life, because they are ones who know. And I also want to say sometimes some things about forgiveness. If someone voted for the politician and later say I was wrong, I think should listen to them. But people are allowed to change their mind, people are allowed to learn, people are allowed to say I made a mistake, but saying sorry should not be end. If you really think made me a bad choice, learn from it, look at what happened, ask question, and next time make a better choice. That is how people grow. Nowadays get everything right, but we should all try to better, and that is the true voter side. I will tell me your thoughts in comments. Please keep respectfully. You can disagree without attacking it others. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next video. Take care. Bye bye.